Okay, let's get straight to the point. How come nobody is decoding the Mandela effects? What I mean by decoding is how come we aren't looking at what our memories were and what these new phenomena have become, these effects. I see a lot of videos about people going crazy about the Mandela effects, and everybody is in awe and asking why and how, and yeah, sure, why and how, but how about the effects happen? We know the effects happen. We know something changed. Anyone who's experienced this knows it's not a memory issue. It is some sort of supernatural phenomena. And so this is the point of view I want to bring. What if somebody who knows about the technology, let's say we did have some time travel technology or some sort of mass hypnosis technology, some sort of quantum computer, I don't know, technology, and we are in a simulation and we are plugged in somewhere, and they are on the outside, and let's just say they have gotten fed up with this whole control simulation that we all are going through, and they want to let us know about it. Now, if you are not a simulation and you are working with the simulators, how are you going to let a simulation know that it's a simulation? Well, you can't just blatantly say, hey, you're not real. No one's going to believe you. You gotta show them. So maybe this is a way for us to be shown, for us to open our eyes. So basically, maybe all these hints in the Mandela effects, they could be a whisper to us, the public, from a friend on the inside. And the message our whistleblower friend is saying is the elites now have control of the past, or the matrix, through technology, or just by being enlightened. Maybe this is some supernatural, spiritual, mental projection thought phenomena. Who knows? Keep your ideas open. That's how you figure shit out. You know, what if a group of elites now has or had in their possession the working power, a machine, a computer, a spirit, with the ability to reconstruct time and reality? What if we had come up with that back a couple years ago, and that's why our reality is entirely different? Decode the effects. You know, for example, the Forrest Gump movie. Life is like a box of chocolates. That's how we remember it. That's how I seen the movie. That's how my dad's seen the movie. That's I asked my brother. I asked plenty of friends. Everybody knows that. It clearly says life was like a box of chocolates. Okay, well, how about why that change? Why did this specific change happen? Maybe it's evidence. Maybe we should look at it as a riddle. So the original quote said, life is like a box of chocolates. Well, now it says life was like a box of chocolates. So what if that means that the whistleblower on the outside of the simulation, or on the outside, a part of the elites who knew somebody, who knew that they had the ability to go back in time and change things, went back in time, made some changes on his own to let us know that life is no longer like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get, blah, blah, blah. Well, now life was like a box of chocolates, because now they do know what we're going to get. And the only way you know what you're going to get is if you know how to control the future. So, you know, you could look at it that way. Look at the Matrix. The line, by Morpheus. What if I told you everything you know is a lie? That line from The Matrix when he's about to take the red pill or the blue pill. That line is gone. Okay? That didn't just pop into my memory. That didn't just pop into every one of your memories. The line is gone. Why? Why that line? Well, maybe the meaning indicates that the past, or possibly the matrix we live in, has been edited, and the second meaning of the quote is that life as we know it is now in fact a lie, an illusion. Maybe it's a hint that the laws of life and everything around us is now not what we think, and we should choose whether to open our eyes or remain closed-minded. Just as in the scene, that's what the scene was all about. You know, no one can be given the ability to open your eyes. You got to choose to open your eyes or not. What is opening your eyes in this case? Well, in all our cases, our eyes right now is to, our eyes are, our choice is to choose whether or not to hunt down and figure out the reality of this world, or if you could even call it a world, or just continue to go about your life, your job, your family. You got a choice to make. Another example is in the lyrics, "We Are the Champions" by Queen. You know that song, "We are the champions. We are the champions. No time." Yeah, you know what it is, okay? Well, the very ending of that song, "Of the World," is gone. So if you ever were a fan of Queen and you listen to that song, at the very end of it, it goes, it was even on like that one movie, D2 Mighty Ducks. After, at the very end of the movie, when they win the championship, they're all on a campfire and they're all singing that song. At the very end, it says "of the world." So it goes through the chorus that one last time. "We are the champions," and then it's like a 3-second pause, 4-second pause. "Of the world." That, okay, it says it now in the middle of the song, but now it's not at the end of the song anymore. And when we say it's not at the end of the song anymore, we mean it is gone. It never was in this reality, according to history and Google and Wikipedia and the makers of the song itself, and all the lyrics that everyone ever wrote down that were actual lyrics. They are now and have never been ending with "of the world," which is totally false. So we're either being manipulated, or it actually got erased from time, or from the Matrix. Who knows? That's why I'm making this video. So what I'm saying is, all these effects should be decoded instead of made a spectacle and a miracle and a big like, oh wow, okay, the effect happened. Okay, now let me go to school because I got to pass English class. Why does English class even matter if this is a matrix? Why does English class even, maybe I need English class because I can't fucking speak. But why does math class or any class even matter? Why does taking out the trash, going to Subway to get your favorite 6-inch foot long even matter if we're in a simulation, or they can change time? Or what if we all have access to this crazy time travel power? Who knows, you know? I believe maybe. I don't, who knows, but just as Edward Snowden had a good heart and informed the public of what the NSA is doing to the public, a person on the inside right now of this whole Mandela Effect and how it's happening has created these small effects to prove to us, the public, that the elites are now in possession and actively using this technology, changing the matrix, or going back in time. You know, if the whistleblower insider would have simply stated, hey, we have the ability to go back in time, no one's going to believe him. But by actually going rogue and recreating small details in the past, it gave us just enough evidence to understand that there is, in fact, a change. There is, in fact, something in reality that is being manipulated. And now we know. Now our eyes are open, and they can't be shut. Maybe the elites that have this technology didn't want us to know about their ability to edit time or edit our minds, so to speak. And maybe the whistleblower executed them for our knowledge, the public, behind their back. And that's why I think the flip-flops happened. People talk about Tidy Cats. The brand Tidy Cats got changed to Tidy Cat, and people went and bought the kitty litter, put it in their cupboard, and a couple days later they went back and looked at it, and they bought it as Tidy Cat because that's what the change was originally from Tidy Cats. It was in their cupboard as Tidy Cat, and a day later, magically, supernaturally, it turned back into Tidy Cats. So a couple other effects have flip-flopped. And how this ties into the theory is maybe the flip-flop was actually the elites fixing the effects, the Mandela effects, that they wanted to keep as the original. Maybe they only flip-flopped those effects that would crash the population if the majority of us had actually became aware of the change. You know, for example, the movie Apollo 13, in that famous quote, "Houston, we have a problem." We all know that. It's very common. It was a real-life event. Many people know about it. But it was affected by the whistleblower. I saw it with my own eyes. I went to the YouTube video clip of the movie, and even in that, I don't know if it's Fandango, movie clips, whatever, 9 out of 10, whatever clip it is, it said, even in the title, "Houston, we've had a problem." And I thought, shit, okay, it's another Mandela effect. But how would I ever know, you know? Maybe it's my memory, maybe it isn't. But I watched the video 4 or 5 times. It said, "Houston, we've had a problem." Obviously, I knew it said, "Houston, we have a problem." I just clicked over to the next Mandela effect to look at others. Well, very next day, I'm doing the same thing, looking through videos, and I went back and looked, and it changed back to, "Houston, we have a problem." Now, what if the elites, the people behind this technology, switched that quote back along with a lot of these other Mandela effects because they were too easy to spot? And if the majority of us had actually heard the Mandela affected quote in the movie, maybe the majority of the public would in fact know that something is happening, and too many people would be convinced. So they saved themselves by switching over those effects really quick that they knew were going to cause chaos and we would all awaken. So by flipping back only those edits in the matrix or in time, they were saving face. And they're only keeping the changes that have already happened because they know that they can't switch everything back, because if they do, then we're going to see a whole bunch of changes again, and especially in the geography of the world. How the fuck would they switch all that back? Anyway, the rabbit hole goes deep. You already know. So my conclusion is, why don't we look at these effects as hints? Use them in your brain. Figure out why. Why these changes. Why the missing S's and A's. Trust your memory, and don't start to think that these are just an effect in your memory. Although, in other theories, they could be. A couple other possibilities of what could be happening is, what if we were all hypnotized before? If these changes happen now, what if before we were just all under this hypnosis and we used to see mirror, mirror on the wall with our ears and eyes? We sensed that through a hypnosis, and now we are actually dehypnotized, and that is why we are now able to see magic mirror on the wall. How is that not a possibility, right? What if this memory inaccuracy is caused by some sort of machine-like satellite tower projecting signals into our brains, causing our brain waves to function differently? What if there's actually no changes in anything in the actual world as we see it, but as they exist, but in our brains, our brain waves are being tampered with through this satellite tower technology, and we are seeing things differently because they're projecting waves that vibrate and interfere with our brainwave patterns, and we process the information differently. How do we know that? What about the basic fact that what if we're just in the Matrix? We could be. How would you ever know if it was so? If you were born in it, how would you know if you were in a Matrix? You don't. You gotta open up your brain. Is this a combination of time travel, past edits? Are the Mandela Effects just edits being made now because they finally had the quantum capability to visualize, so to speak, the future, past, present, and future, and because they were accurately able to finally predict the future via these quantum computers that they came up with, now they have started editing, and maybe they're making practice edits in the past to see the effects, and who knows, maybe these are just the introduction, the appetizers, so to speak, the beginning of what they are trying to do, or what maybe they're just testing out this time travel technology. Did someone go back in time rogue on their own and make edits in time? How about Are We Dead? I've heard that one going around. Are we dead? Maybe we all died, and we all died in 2012, and somehow this is just where we are now in this fake world. Were these effects maybe just man-made? What if no change happened? Were we all just put to sleep? The entire world bombed with the chloroformed smoke bomb. Then the government elites, possibly maybe they were living underground. Maybe they commanded a mass replacing of certain brands and logos and movies. Maybe they had thousands of soldiers who lived underground and went into your houses and replaced books and movies and VHS tapes. Added pages in your Bible, took out pages, replaced them. Maybe we were asleep for quite a while, a week, who knows? And what if on the internet, the quantum computers just took care of all the internet data job, replaced everything, videography, text, websites, whatever, and it edited out all the electronic part, whereas actual people came and edited out our physical realm. And we are giving the optical illusion of some supernatural thing happening. What if that happened? Maybe they actually did falsify our memory, and all these edits in time that we perceive are not edits in time at all. Maybe they projected actual ideas in all of our brains via the same satellite tower technology, and now we think that we all have memories of different things that actually existed. And what if everything that exists is actually how it always existed? They succeeded in implanting false memories in our brain. And if they did succeed in that, how would you know? Because that would mean that the memory that you have in your brain actually got replaced and manipulated, so you really do believe that that's the memory you had. What else did they already change? If all these changes happened, what else changed? What else happened? Who knows? And if there is a chance, you can't completely deny, but there is a chance that no changes happened, that these are all psychologically explainable, and there's some type of mass, who knows, cultural, psychological disorder where humanity will actually remember something differently, and it has to do with some stupid smart virus that is developed via evolution. Who knows? That's a possibility. Or you can look at it in the Christianity way, that maybe these are the end times. The Bible does talk about the signs of the end of age in Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, and in the Old Testament. And it talks about how the Antichrist will come and deceive the nations via changing the times, changing the laws. And if you look at it as far as physical laws and laws of gravity and stuff like that, maybe the deceiver has now changed the laws of physics and we are able to travel through time. Who knows? Maybe it's all the Antichrist. That is a possibility. You got to look at this from every angle. Usually the most believable, simplest explanation is the correct one. But you got to open your mind. You got to take in what's possible and impossible. And today you got to realize we do have quantum computers. You got to do your research, figure out what these computers are capable of. Understand that most physics theory majors, I'm talking like Albert Einstein type people, do in fact believe that we are living in a simulation, and many of them believe that we are more likely living in a computer simulation than actually living and breathing the way that our natural bodies have naturally formed. There's more of a chance of being in a simulation than actually not being in a simulation. If you think I'm crazy, do some research. And I don't know, last thing I want to leave you is one of the Mandela Effects, so to say, changes was a change in the Bible. Isaiah 11:6 used to say, "The lion shall lay down with the lamb." That's what people say. I think I remember reading that. I used to read the Bible a lot, but my beliefs have changed from agnostic to Christian to agnostic, and I can honestly say you never know. I mean, I can honestly say I've never stopped believing in God, but it's really hard to prove. That's all I can say about that. But that new verse now says, "The wolf shall lay with the lamb," and anybody who is a Bible reader knows that the wolf is something evil, something meant to deceive you. The wolf in sheep's clothing. You know about that? And so there is a possibility that the evil in this world is among us. So be alert, beware, seek the truth. If you want, you should look into reading Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Read those chapters about the signs of the end of age, and you'll see a lot of them relate to these Mandela effects. So it's pretty interesting. This could be the time that we should all look into Christianity and pray for answers. I do pray. Answers are hard to get, but I try. I try to listen. I try to understand. And I don't know. I guess I'll leave you with just remain calm, relax. You know, the material world may change, but the truth is always the truth, and the truth can never change. You know, the truth lies within you. In the Bible, it says the Word is within you. Somewhere in Deuteronomy, I don't even know how to say that, but the Word is within you, and if you just focus and try to understand, you, without a doubt, if you seek, you shall find. That's in the Bible. Seek and you shall find. You know, Jesus says, seek wisdom and you'll find it. So, actually, I think that may be a proverb. Long story short, bottom line is, don't let these changes change you. Just be aware of them, figure them out, come up with your own ideas.